What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our match reaction after Liverpool have been beaten by 2-1 by Union Saint-Gilloise in our final Europa League group stage game. Liverpool finish on top of the group with the Belgians coming in third place, meaning they will go into the Europa Conference League. But look, my overriding feeling from this one isn't really frustration or anger at the scoreline. It was a dead rubber. It didn't mean anything. But I feel a little bit disappointed. I don't feel disappointed with the first team players or the manager. I feel a little bit disappointed and underwhelmed by those young players. Um, when you qualify for the Europa League at the expense of the Champions League, you want a few things to happen. You want to have something that you can take from this tournament. And I wanted a breakthrough. I wanted one or two of those younger players to show that they deserve to be at Liverpool Football Club, to show that they're too good for this level, to show that they're ready to make that next step. And I don't feel as of yet we've had those performances. Gerald Kwanzaa, probably the only one. It was very good to see Craig Gordon back today. I think he did okay, particularly with how long he'd been out. But after that, we've gone through the entire group stage now. And my honest opinion is Kelleher has regressed. Bradley, who's coming back from a while out, hasn't pushed on in the couple of games we've seen him, but he isn't back too long. Chambers doesn't look like he's going to make it at this level as of yet. Endo, if he can't run that midfield in that game today, I don't have many hopes for him going forward. And I just feel underwhelmed by all of it, to be honest. Ben Doak, again, this was supposed to be the tournament we've seen the breakthrough from Ben Doak. And he's been underwhelming. And it's been frustrating to watch. And that's my honest overriding feel. I'm not writing all these youngsters off. Of course, there's more to come. But when you think of these competitions, the upside has been over the years, clubs have had breakthroughs from players, be a Harry Kane all those years ago as well. And I don't feel we've got that. So it's a little bit tinged with disappointment. You top the group, you go through to the next round, and you expect us to go deep into the competition. But it just shows again we're going to be reliant on the first team players when we need a result. You can't really roll the dice. You can't. You can't do it in the FA Cup. You can't do it because they're not delivering. And I don't know what to say other than that. I can't lie, I zoned out after the Glen Madness. Youngsters are subpar, said Aku. Endo way too inconsistent, said Alan von Nida. Kelleher needs to improve. Yeah, look, Queeveen Kelleher has had big moments in his Liverpool career. The Carabao Cup, the final, the penalty shootout win. We've had some good moments. But this was the competition he was given every game in. He was given the group stage, and I can't think of a performance that I'm happy with from Kelleher in any of the games. Today, look, I know people will blame keepers, and he was weak on both those goals, but we were just exposed defensively all over the place today. Both fullbacks were targeted, and we were just pulled apart. It was way too easy. And it just shows there is a very, very big drop off between the level of where our first team boys are at and where the younger players coming through are at. They just don't seem to be able to handle these occasions yet. And that's worrying for me because it means you're most likely looking to the market to solve your problems in the future. Yes, of course, we'll still see more from Craig Gordon. I fully expect that. Great to see him back on the pitch, by the way, after what's been a very difficult 17, 18 months for him. So I'm honestly delighted that Cade played today. And I thought he looked bright in spells. He was getting into some good areas. He didn't really get a chance to develop any attacks because he was being fouled every time he got into a position. Didn't get much protection from the referee there either, who I thought was absolutely appalling today, really. Still have not seen a VAR replay of their first goal, which is worrying when you don't see these things. But yeah, my overriding feeling today is just frustration at the lack of progression from some of the kids. Over to you guys to let me know your thoughts, of course. Look, we usually have an Anfield Agenda Man of the Match poll, but can I find 4 players worthy of putting into a Man of the Match poll? I'm struggling, if I'm being really honest with you. First goal was offside. Why is no one talking about it? I haven't seen it, Roy. I said this all the way through the game. Never once did that television or UEFA show us the lines and the replay for the first goal. Never seen it, and that's worrying. We should have had Trent on the bench because he can pass it down the gap. Why? I mean, I don't give a shit about the result because it's a dead game. We'd already qualified. The goal number one here was no injuries. And I think Jurgen was fully right to leave Trent, Allison, Van Dijk, and Moa home to rest up. I think that was absolutely the right decision. You know, this stage of the competition was supposed to be about the kids developing. It was supposed to be about them breaking through. And they've been given the minutes, but they've not delivered. And they should do at this level. You know, you would hope a youngster at Liverpool, 17, 18, 19 years of age, is good enough to go out there and mix it in the Europa League group stages and look like they belong. We looked disjointed and very much at a loss defensively. We were just so easy. Every time we turned over possession, so much space in behind for them to exploit. Rabadam said, I much prefer Gakpo playing in midfield. I said the same, mate. Somebody said to me, would you play him against United? And I said I would prefer him coming in from behind the attackers. So maybe have, let's say, I don't know who to put the argument in here. Let's say you pull Gravenberch is the 6 against United. I've nothing against putting Gakpo in one of the two advanced midfield positions, linking up between defence and attack, which I think, like yourself, he's more impactful. Actually, Kelleher was good tonight. Was he? I mean, he's made some saves. I'll give him that one, but both goals was weak. First goal, I don't know why he's wrapping his hand around the ball to try and palm it back in. If you're a keeper, you want to push that wide and away from the danger. And the way he did it ended up with a ricochet, which put the guy through one goal. So that was poor. Second goal, you do not get beaten at your near post. I don't care. You don't. Not from 18 yards out. And he did. But it wasn't just on him. Defensively, to get to that position, more questions than answers as well. But yeah, Kelleher made a couple of decent saves, but I don't know. I feel like if you want to be at Liverpool and you want to ever really think about getting to that number one shot, he's never going to get it because he's not there yet. And I want to get behind him. He's Irish. I want to be sitting here screaming about Kelleher and how great he is. But I don't feel he's pushed on. I definitely do not feel he took the opportunity, nor any of those younger players. Really thought the youngsters would have wanted to put in a good performance to impress Klopp. It shows we can't really rely too much on these lads. And that's the problem, Matthew. That's my underwhelming feeling as well. Soren, thank you for your very, very kind super chat, mate. Said, what a shocking performance today. Don't care if it's the kids. The win should be a priority and the effort should motivate the first team. Would not be surprised if we perform poorly at the weekend. Lack of winning mentality, sadly, carries on. There's something to what you're saying, Soren. You know, you can make the argument it's a nothing game, and there's a valid point to that. But you've also made a very valid point in that winning's a habit and a mentality. And if you're at a club like Liverpool and you get a chance, you want to show that you belong there. You want to show that you're going to take and seize that opportunity. And you're right. Winning is a habit. It's a good habit to get into. And the people who are the real elite, your creme de la creme, they don't give a shit if it's Europa League group stage or World Cup final. They want to go out there and enjoy it and own the game and show that they're a level above. And we're not seeing that. And even if you carry on to the first team, our results have been good. But can any of us say we've been playing great football? Not really. So putting all that together to carry on with your comment, yeah, there's still uncertainty. But what I would say, Soren, to kind of push back in a positive sense is if you look at the history of our time under Jurgen, we tend to come better now from this point of the season onward. So I'm just happy we're in the position in the league table that we're in, that at least if we do get that consistency and level of performance, who knows where the season might take us. Endo completely squandered his opportunity. I get Wilson, mate. I agree with you. To be taken off at half-time as well. I mean, what do we think was the reason for him to be taken off at half-time? Was it to be rested for Sunday? Or was it to see how Curtis Jones got on in the position with a mind to him maybe taking the role on Sunday? Because I certainly don't feel like Klopp would have looked at the first 45 and gone, oh yeah, Endo's so good. He was good there. Yeah, he's good to go. Rest him up. I'd be worried if that was the manager's thinking. Can we all just give Glenn man of the match as a peace offering? Absolutely. Very, very happy to do that. Glenn's man of the match, no problem. I just say the same thing. I respond to people how they respond to me. So if you come into my chat and you're nice and you're fun and we have a laugh, that's all you'll ever get from me is respect and fun back. If you come in acting like an asshole, trying to tell me what to do or not to swear, then you get short shrift and you're gone. It's as simple as that. I treat people how they treat me. I know it's a very simple thing, but you'll never see me just go in on somebody in the chat for no reason. I won't do it. But if you have a pop at me, the gloves are off. I'm afraid Ben Doak will never make it. He's got no end product. Do you know what? The most I can say to kind of, I guess, try to answer that question, Oxy, is I seen more from Cade Gordon today than I did in the entire group stage from Doak. Maybe I'm wrong, but I also feel that the fact that Jurgen put Cade Gordon onto his preferred right hand side instead of Doak is probably an indication that he's more hopeful for Cade Gordon. And I think we should be because he looks like a better player. He looks good. He looks like he's filled out as well. Looks like, he spent that time in his injuries and he's kind of growing into his man's body. And I thought Cade Gordon had some good moments today. He didn't get much support from the ref. Every time he was breaking a line, he was tripped up and fouled. And, he's hoping the Premier League that you get a player on a booking and then he's in big trouble up against somebody like Cade Gordon because, if he fouls again, he's off. So, yeah, I thought it was some good moments from Cade Gordon on the right. Grafenberg missed a good chance after he was forwarded the ball. Yeah, there was also a good bit of work down the right-hand side, and Elliott played a cross in towards Darwin that was just slightly too far ahead of him. The problem we have, and it goes from first team right the way through to today, is we're so vulnerable in transition. How many times do you hear me say it? When we concede a goal or a chance, so many times it comes from a misplaced pass or two players not being on the same wavelength and the ball going behind its intended target. We're countered and we're exposed very quickly. And it happened again today. And that's a worrying sign for me because it goes all the way through from the starting first teamers now all the way through to the youngsters. And you can only assume that that's a system thing then because we're too eager to get forward in transition, but we're leaving ourselves exposed at the back. And unless you are on point and it's bang, 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 one misplaced pass, and then you're turning around, you're on your heels, and you're 15 yards behind play. And look at their second goal. Endo, just couldn't get caught up to the player, and it was all too easy. We have more youngsters. If you're really tuned in, you would have been signing a lot of youngsters with the likes of Neoni, Doherty, etc. But we do have youngsters, Levi, you're right, but they're still a little bit behind age-wise. Like Neoni's only 16. So, again, we've got more youngsters coming through, but this current batch, I don't feel have taken their opportunity in the group stage to put themselves in the manager's thinking more moving forward. I'm sure Jurgen will try put a positive spin on it, but I feel underwhelmed by the younger players. It's good the kids get playing time. Yes, it is, but it's not confidence building for them either. They've been beaten again. So you can say, yeah, it's good to get them those developmental minutes, but we've seen Chambers play in a few games now in the Europa League, and I see the same mistakes in most games, which is that over-eagerness to get in and get ahead and to stop the ball before a tackle needs to be made and to intercept. But if you don't get there and they get past that little press, then there's just space galore in behind. Endo kind of has a habit of losing the ball, but he will adjust. I don't want to say this too badly, but I haven't written Endo off yet. I think it's too early, but I'm also not edging closer to the Endo's the solution camp. I'm still at the very, very, if all else fails, backup option Endo. I'm not being convinced at all. When do you do the lineup prediction for the United game? I'm recording it tomorrow, mate. That'll be coming out tomorrow. Should we start Gomez at right back and Trent midfield as a 6? Surely it's worth a try. Like, right now, Jurgen's hand might be forced a little bit in that area because it doesn't look like Alexis is going to be available. Endo's not playing well enough to deserve a start. Thiago Bajcetic, both aren't available yet. So coming into the game against United, I feel like, yeah, there's a good opportunity to say, put Trent in as the DM as the number 6, put Joe at right back. Yeah, I'd have no problem with that at all. It feels like a good opportunity for Jurgen to try it. Queen Adra, thank you for your super chat. Do you think Man City have better youth development than us? They won yesterday with their youth. It's a fair question, but I think ultimately the best way to try and measure the academy is how many players consistently stay in that first team. So Jones in our team right now that you could say is a regular first teamer. Trent came through the academy as well. They're both local boys. Look, City, Chelsea, they've got good academies. They do. Is it better than ours? I don't know the answer. But you've made a fair point in that their kids went over to Red Star and left with a 3-2 victory. Meanwhile, our kids went into the Europa League, played against a fairly average Belgian team and came home losing. I don't know. John Neal said Endo too lightweight, passing terrible, no pace. Other than that, he's grand. He's got tenacity, Endo, but for somebody that's supposed to be a naturally defensive minded player, I don't understand how he loses his man so often. Endo gets a lot of stick. Nobody babysits him. But why would we have to babysit him? You're playing for Liverpool Football Club. It's your dream move. He's wanted to play in the Premier League his entire career. He got the chance at 30 years of age. The cards have fallen right for him. He's getting the opportunities because McAllister's out and we haven't nailed someone down in that position. So if he can't nail down a place in the starting 11 with the injuries and problems we have in that position, there's no way he's making it his own moving forward, in my opinion. Fairly average Belgian team. They're top of the league by 6 points. Yeah, the Belgian league. You know, we're looking at wanting to win the Premier League, the Champions League next year, domestic trophies. With all due respect to the Belgian league, it is not the Premier League. It is not La Liga. It is not the Bundesliga. It is not Serie A. It's the Belgian league. So I don't give a fuck if they're on top of the league by 15 points. I expect any 11 that Liverpool put out to beat them because we're Liverpool Football Club. You shouldn't be at our club unless you're at the very, very highest level. So again, my point stands. I don't care if they walk the league and win it with 15 games to go. My point still stands. And again, they've dropped into the Europa Conference League. So they've just proved that the Europa League's a level too much for them. So they're dropping down into the league below. So I think my point makes itself. If that's the best the Belgian league have to offer, and if they're winning it by 6 points, well, they've just been knocked out by Liverpool and Toulouse. So they've dropped into a lower tier competition. Klopp doesn't like Musialowski for some reason. I don't know what's going on with young Musialowski. Yeah, because when we signed him, we thought, oh, Polish Messi, here we go. But yeah, not really seen many opportunities for. But I've got to be honest, I haven't really tracked Musialowski too much either. Belgian league ranks about 10th in Europe. Yeah, you're just making my point for me. Klopp's cop. So you're trying to have a pop at me in the chat, calling me a little sausage. You're a cowardly little bitch. I'm not the one hiding behind a fake name, giving a Billy Big Bollocks from behind a keyboard, mate. I'm here, face in front of camera, telling you the truth. You're watching me. Keep that in mind, mate. I'm a little sausage, but yet your weird ass is sitting here watching me. What does that make you? A glutton for punishment? An idiot? A nameless troll? Ultimately, pal, there's a reason I'm sitting here having fun and interacting with people, and you're a pussy hiding behind a fake image and a fake name because you haven't got the bollocks to show the world who you are. So until you grow a pair, don't forever, ever think you get to come on and judge me or anybody else, you sad little fuck. Lesson beeth over, sir. Off you pop back under your rock. Leave this to the adults. 231,000 subscribers, mate. I think I'm all right. And the kids were shit. And if you don't think that and you can't say that, then you must love going to Anfield every week and just going, marvellous. Applause all around. Well done, everybody. Mate, we're talking about Liverpool Football Club, the highest goddamn level. And the kids did not deliver. And me telling you the truth, if that hurts your sad little existence, I can't fucking help you. But I'm right. You know I'm right. I'm just not putting kid gloves on. And I'm not blowing smoke up their ass. I'm telling it like it is. That was pathetic. Anybody who thinks otherwise, I don't know what you were watching. Why is Craig being rude towards Klopp? Show me one sentence I've said negative about Klopp. One sentence. Go on. Actually, I don't give a fuck. He's a dickhead. Big fan of yours. Fell in love with Diaz and how he plays. I love him, David. Big fan of Lucho. Weirdly, I know they're different, and I guess it's tough to compare them, but I think in Diaz, we've got as close as we could have got to Mane. Now, he hasn't delivered numerically yet like Mane has on goals, but I don't yeah, I love him as well, mate. I think there's a lot of good still to come from Lucho. But he's exciting, and we all love a player like that gets you on the edge of your seat, right? And you're just kind of you're unsure what's going to happen with them, but he's got huge potential. And most importantly, I'm just happy that his family are reunited and he's back together and his dad's safe. Kwanzaa's the real deal. I love this leadership. Yeah, he was okay today. Good goal, very good goal, well taken, great trap, good composed finish. But there was occasions again today where there was free headers from 12 yards out, and we can't neglect to call our two centre backs out there for not picking up their man either. So I get it. There's a lot. Look, of all the youngsters, Kwanzaa's head and shoulders above, and he's definitely ready for more experience in the first team and more minutes, no doubt about that. But it was worrying defensively all around today how often we were and how easily we were carved open. Do you know what? Sometimes I feel like I just want to pack this whole industry in and just reading some of the comments and just the attempt at trolling. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's underwhelming. I want your opinion on hair. Brilliant. Well in. Fucking fair play, mate. I'm not bald, you sad little twat. I don't know what to say anymore. Like, yeah, I don't know. If you think this is a great performance and you're happy about it, have at it. If you think I'm a prick, stop watching. If you don't like me, don't comment. I don't get it. But my opinion, that wasn't a great performance. The result doesn't matter, as I've said. Um, Ultimately, we'll go deep in this competition. When our first team are out, we'll be fine. And this was just a case of play, don't get injured, and be okay for Sunday. And that's what we did. We managed to get through it, not pick up any injuries, and I'm taking that as a bonus. Ian said I had to stop watching. It was woeful. We know who these burner accounts are. I know, Lauren. I know, but like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna bite my tongue. Like, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna bite my tongue on the trolling stuff because I don't want to feed the bullshit. So look, I'm gonna say goodbye, and I will see you. Oh man, tomorrow. I'll see you sometime tomorrow. We'll be over on top of the league for the preview of the weekend. Um, yeah, we'll see you when I see you. Talk to you soon. Keep an eye out for the player ratings.